Manchester United 2, Everton 0. A game that should have been more like 5 or 6, but as you tweeted a minute ago, it's nice to be disappointed by a 2-0 win, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. I think within the first 20 minutes we'd have like the most chances created in a first half of any game this season.
Yeah.
So I think it's just evident. It's sort of indicative of our season, really, isn't it? In terms of our club, that we need a striker. We can create the chances. Bruno playing from the back, quarter pack style, brilliant.
Yeah.
I think when you say it was a good day at the office, it sort of sums it up. We didn't have an extraordinary day, but we just had a good day, getting both goals and a clean sheet and getting 3 points from that game. Without a midfielder, we were always worried about the Casemiro when he was out for 4 games. So this is his final one. Did we get all 3 points? We did. Did we score goals? We did. Have we got 3 points? We have.
Yeah.
Worried though.
Yeah,
Because of
definitely.
Marcus Rashford, because we've got our midfield back, and now we've lost our goal machine for God knows how many long. Has there been any news on what that was?
Well, no. Well, hopefully we'll get some report from on Rashford, but they're not going to know the extent of it yet, are they? It seemed almost certainly like a groin, didn't it? I usually wait a minute to get into the stats, but I think this game is so sort of unique that we need to just jump right in. So Laurie Whittle just tweeted, good performance by United. Most shots, 29. Most shots on target, 11 in a Premier League game this season. XG ended up at 3.49, the second highest figure in a game, behind the game against Leicester, which was 4.47. Casemiro now back. Concern comes from Rashford's injury. He scored 34% of United's goals. But just on that, there's also in there 8 big chances, which is mad. Which basically means even if you miss scoring half of them, it should have been 4-0.
Yeah.
Let alone if you get a bit of luck. Like, we completely dominated Everton. Everton had 1 shot on target, and again, they had 1 shot. Their best chance was actually not on target in the end, the shot from Sims. So, they did have 15 shots themselves. But I think a lot of those by the end were quite speculative. They had really 1 or 2 decent chances, didn't they? But some of the stats, so let's get into the match ratings in a little bit, but just as a sort of overall thing. Bruno Fernandes, 101 attempted passes, 43 attempted attacking third passes, 6 chances created, which means 6 of his passes led to shots directly. Most crosses out of United's team as well. Just a brilliant performance from Bruno Fernandes, I thought. One of his best this season, even though he didn't get a goal or an assist.
No, I think he might be a little bit upset that he didn't get on the score sheet when the header as well, that he had that chance, which led to a good save. But yeah, absolutely brilliant performances. People in the comments making the comparisons to the likes of Pirlo when he was playing deep, and it's obviously a position that he thrives in. It'd be interesting to see what Ten Hag does now with Casemiro coming back, and whether he keeps Fernandes back there alongside him. Because it wouldn't be something I would be against.
He's got a good headache to pick, and he's got quite a lot of options. Certain players can do certain things now. Casemiro coming back, Eriksen having a little spell. Sabitzer doing quite well, I thought, in this game. So he's got a nice headache to have. I think the headache of the attacking lineup, if Rashford is out, is quite a severe one.
Yep.
How do you structure your front three then, if that is the case? We'll see.
But I mean, even though Rashford's gone off and injured today, it was nice. We were talking before the game about other players not chipping in with goals. We had a goal from Scott McTominay, who took it really well, and he was playing higher up the field, and another benefit from Bruno playing deep. Martial's come back in and scored as well. So we can focus on the negative, but there's also the positives that other people are scoring.
Yeah,
and Casemiro's got a goal in him as well.
Yeah, Casemiro's obviously big, and it's like we almost talk so much about it that you think, well, he can't possibly live up to it. But I think that he genuinely, the difference in points per game when he's there and not there is like, it's over a point extra per game. It's like it goes from like 1.6 to 2.6 or something ridiculous, or 1.2 to 2.2. So he is absolutely massive. And also, as we've said before, and you sort of mentioned it then, Joe, but Eriksen coming back is huge as well. Yeah, and I think we're underestimating the fact that we've created a lot less chances in recent weeks. We've not been having those 3 and 4 sort of goal games that we'd hope for. I think bringing in Christian Eriksen, and we saw it almost with Bruno doing that same job today, but having someone who can play out from deep and play the ball really well from deep, that's going to be big as well, isn't it? Yes, we might lose Rashford, but getting Casemiro and Eriksen back is probably just as big, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And there's goals in Casemiro and Bruno as well, so you could play with Bruno deep and Christian Eriksen further up the field, because he's got goals in him. But yeah, I think it's huge. It's nice to get them back towards this last 9 games towards the end of the season, and there's a couple of games that are happening today. Hopefully Newcastle drop points. It's a good weekend.
Yeah, really good weekend.
Just a quick stat. I mean, it's one that's been ongoing since the start of the Premier League era, but United have never lost a Premier League game at home when they were leading at half time. It's
still incredible, isn't it?
312 games where we've been leading at half-time at Old Trafford, 289 wins, only 23 draws, and 0 defeats, which is amazing. Scott McTominay has come out and said we have to be more clinical, and I'm sure that's what the manager will say. Do you think Martial coming back will help that? I know his goal, I could have scored it, but he's certainly more clinical than
Weghorst.
The likes of Anthony and Sancho and Weghorst.
I think in front of goal he's so much more clinical than Weghorst. I think what Weghorst did a little bit better than Martial was just his work rate, and you can see him do more stuff off the ball, but I think Martial knows he's got a real fight for his position at the minute, because we may go into a summer where we could just let him go. Yeah. So I think he's got to step up, and I think he will. Stepped up today, scored. I'm still not sure about him for the long term, but to get us through these next couple of games, if Rashford's out for 3-4 weeks, that's critical.
This period here, because we've got, it's obviously a groin injury, or looks like a groin injury, which, as we all know, any sort of muscular injury can be anywhere from a week, 10 days to 6 weeks. Yeah. So who knows what?
Even if it's a week, even if it's 10 days, that's 2.
Yeah, that's home and away against Sevilla. So we need him to step up, if nothing else.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Let's get into some of the comments then. Like I said, in the description, head over to matchratings.io. It's in the comments as well. I'll be coming to that in a few minutes. Give me your match ratings for all of United's players, and we'll come to that in a few seconds. James Stewart says, get those trophies spit shine for us. Yeah, love that. Gregory Conran says, now it gets interesting. Rashford and 5 away games.
5 away games.
Wout could go wrong.
Oh,
there you go. What do you make of that? Wout could go wrong.
5 away games, and you hope he's not missing all them 5. If that's what's happening.
I mean, the next game is at Old Trafford, but after that, it's a lot of away games. So it's Sevilla at Old Trafford on
2
Thursday.
more Old Trafford games, and then it's 5.
And then it's Forest away, Sevilla away, Brighton away, but it's at Wembley, and then Tottenham away, all in a row. That's going to be tough.
You know, if you're Anthony Martial, and obviously he's like mates or teammates with Marcus Rashford, he's got to look at Marcus being out as a positive. Like Joe was saying there, this could be him trying to save his career by going into these games and being the sort of clinical striker. And we want him to go into if he's going to start every game, he's not going to get the opportunity to do that if Marcus Rashford is fit. So I think it's definitely now or never for Martial. So we could benefit from it.
Yeah. Like, it's a good point that he needs to see this as like,
he's got to grab it by the ball. He's not going to get a chance like this again, is he?
And not just if he thinks bigger picture as well, not just, I'll get to the end of the season, United might let me go or not. You're not going to a team as good as United. No. If you leave Man United now, you're going to Lyon or Roma or, Betis or whatever.
Seville didn't want him, did they?
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to a team that is of the scale of Manchester United. You're not getting paid the wages you did at Manchester United. He's playing for a lot in these sort of next 6 weeks, Martial, and hopefully that'll mean we can get the best out of him. Fergal McClements says, we're in a better place this week than any other in the year for Marcus's injury. Though it's awful, maybe we can survive it. That's like what you said kind of about Martial coming back, Casemiro, Eriksen coming back, Bruno coming into form as well. Jerome T. Green says, Rashford being out will no doubt be a blow, but we have our midfield and Martial back. Exactly. Interesting stat as well. United have now gone 24 games unbeaten at home at Old Trafford.
Nice, that's a really good stat. Making Old Trafford a bit more of a fortress was key. The amount of teams over the period since Fergie left who came and beat us and broke their 40-50 year record of never winning.
It's
every week. Swansea, West Brom. It's like, fuck me. Now we're building United and back Old Trafford back up to being a fortress. It's what I want to see.
Yeah, we just need to turn that into the aways as well. Especially with what's coming up.
Well, that was Ollie's thing, wasn't it? The away games, Ollie got a social. It was incredible, wasn't it?
Let's head over to matchratings.io. We're going to do this after every game, so check that out if you haven't already. In the Stretford Paddock group then, just looking at the player ratings for today, a few standouts. No one under 6.5, which is good. I think that would be unfair if anyone was. But the real sort of standout players on this, Scott McTominay 7.7, Sabitzer 7.5, but Bruno Fernandes with a 9 out of 10 rating across the board. I thought he was exceptional today. I thought McTominay was very good as well, actually. But the way that Bruno receives the ball and just stops pressure by just finding a little pass around the corner or taking a step back and lifting it over someone. Having that passing ability deep is so good, isn't it? And when he's playing like that today, it's a shame that he's someone that will always be sort of prodded with the goals and assist stick.
Yeah.
But today I thought he was so instrumental in us winning that game.
I mean, instrumental is a perfect word, because what I saw today was a conductor,
Yeah.
and that was his orchestra in front of him, and everything went through him, dictated play going down the left, down the right, balls over the top to likes of Antony, and I think McTominay benefited from him by pushing further up front. But yeah, I think it's probably one of the best performances of Bruno without scoring a goal for Manchester United.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, without scoring a goal, that's right up there. I thought it was brilliant.
He's incredible. Yeah, what a player.
Yeah, and then obviously Eriksen came in. We saw that as well. Not as high on the ratings, but he only had 20 minutes or so. Martial, another one. What did you make of his performance? I know we've talked about what you think of him as a player, but just today, do you think he looked sharp when he came on?
He scored a goal. He was good. He was good for United. What was his rating?
7.2, which actually
7.2 is pretty good. I'd give him that. 7.2.
Yeah.
Out of 10. I think he if this Rashford thing is a bit more serious now, he's got to step up. He's got to step up for us. We need goals, and he's the man who can score them.
Is he the one then? Obviously, we did well without Weghorst up front. I think we only lost a couple of games.
Yeah.
But he didn't score. What would you be more prone to playing Martial up front, given that he's not played for a while, or would you go Val?
The thing is, if you're looking at goals per 90, which I know is, I'll say it myself, is a flawed statistic when you're looking at someone who's barely played. Because, yeah, you can have a good goals per 90, but he's had 17 appearances, and half of them have been off the bench.
Yeah.
Whereas Weghorst has played, what we're looking at, 20 already, and they've all been from the start. I think almost all of them have been from the start. But Weghorst is averaging 0.13 goals per game, which is basically a goal every 10.
Yeah.
Martial's giving you 0.8. So, do you know what I mean? At some point, the work rate and the energy and the off the ball stuff is just trumped by someone who is winning you matches.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's a good option. I think against certain teams he might even be the better option. But if Martial can stick to roughly a goal, well, 2 goals every 3 games, basically, you can't not play him, I don't think.
No, not at all. No. I agree with you.
We've got a few comments. Danny says Wan-Bissaka looked great going both ways, evolved massively. Anthony missed chances but worked his socks off. Sancho too, but faded. If we took our chances, great game. Yeah, definitely. It was a good one, wasn't it? Wan-Bissaka, again, like he said, actually looked pretty good in the build-up and held the ball well. I thought Sanchini. There we go. Sound like Fred, but the wingers. I thought Sanchini were actually, especially first half, really effective today. Probably 2 of their better games this season as well. I know they missed their chances and all that, but I think they were good.
Before the game, we were talking about like how Sancho was an Ollie player, and he sort of didn't have the, Ten Hag would be easy to get rid of him than he would like an Antony. And I think Sancho needed that sort of performances, the way that he was cutting inside. I thought Antony needs to start looking at different ways to score, because it's going to become too predictable. I think we're only 9 months.
Post curler.
Exactly. Every single time. What are we, 7 months into a season? Yeah. And it's already become evident. Like, every fan can see it, and imagine the opposition. So we need to look at a different way to scoring goals. But as wingers go, I thought both of them had really good games.
Yeah, definitely. And just before we go, let's get the league table up. I think we've also, just someone in the comments is quoting Ten Hag on, I would assume it's Rashford. He says he's not looking very well. He doesn't look well. We'll have to see. We'll wait and we'll see.
Well, yeah, it's not looking good.
Not particularly good. Yeah. There's the league table. Then we ain't got the games played on there, but we'll go through a bit of that. Basically, everyone except Tottenham and Arsenal have played. Well, no, that's not going to work because Brighton haven't. Right. United have played 29 games, 56 points. Newcastle, 28 games, 53 points, but they've got a better goal difference. So if they beat Brentford today, they'll go ahead of us. Then behind that, you've got Tottenham and Brighton, who, quite crucially, are playing each other today.
Big
so
game.
Newcastle are playing Brentford, who probably dropping out of it a little bit now, but still in that challenge. But that Tottenham versus Brighton game is massive today, because Brighton, yes, they're at 4 points behind Spurs, have got 2 games in hand. So if Brighton win those 2 games in hand, not only will they go above Spurs, they'll be, what will they be? Let me have a look. 6 points.
They'll be 3 points off, wasn't it?
Yeah, they'll be 4 points behind United. So ideally, if either of them have to win, you maybe say Spurs, but I feel like you trust Brighton to drop off toward the end of the season a bit more, so a draw there would be nice. But the table looking a little bit nicer again after that win, and again, if Newcastle could drop points as well, could be a really good day for United. Right, that's going to be all from us. We're back with the reviews from the rest of the lads as well. Hopefully Stephen Howson, hopefully Andy Tate on there as well, coming up later on. We've also got loads coming up tomorrow. We've got Monday. This all kicks off again on Monday, doesn't it? What comes after that?
Wednesday.
You've got a little Wednesday, and then Thursday, it's quarter-final time. So make sure you check out Stretford Paddock. Yeah, we've just got this full quote here on Rashford from Ten Hag. We have to wait. He doesn't look well. Once again, that is due to the schedule. It can't be that you play 3 games in 6 days. We have to protect our players. It's a byproduct of being successful, isn't it? But maybe we didn't need that international break 2 weeks ago. Who knows? Especially after the World Cup already came in the season. Thank you, Scotty, for joining us. Thank you, Joe McGraw, as well. Was this Sancho's best United game he's played? I don't know, but it was certainly good enough to say he had a good game, wasn't it? I thought it was really good. United 2, Everton 0. As you see in the title, Reds bully Everton. Should have been 5, should have been 6. But I tell you what, I hate to say it, our goal difference is already 21 behind Newcastle. We don't need them. We're not catching that up regardless. 2-0's as good as 6-0 at this point. We'll see you in a bit.